Hey, what's up guys, my name is Emlich, and today we're going to be talking about 3 different kinds of teleportation in Hammer. I have a little VMF here with all the different kinds of teleportation that we'll be talking about in this video, so you can look at things a bit more in depth. I'll have a download link in the description down below. Well, generally speaking, teleportation is used in Valve maps for really just changing where you are when their spawn changes. But when it comes to surf maps, trade maps, death run maps, there's a lot more uses for it to make it a much more fun experience. Nothing too serious, just fun. Now, our first kind of teleportation, let's change VMFs here, will be actual engineer buildings. First, I have to place down an entity. Change the entity's name to object teleporter. Now, these things have to be named. There's going to be 2 teleporters, an entrance and an exit. And I'm going to have both teams set down here. Alright. Let's this guy over here. And this guy right over here. And then change the position over here. Okay, now it's always by default it's going to be red. So if, when you're changing the team over here to blue, over there also, it doesn't change color. So you just have to remember that it is blue. These two will be, these two will be exits, and they both have to have names. So let's call this one its name Red Tele Entrance. Red Tele Exit. So this is a blue one over here. So make sure to name it. Oh, that's no wrong section. Ah. Blue Tele Entrance. Blue Tele Exit. So the everything's in order. Now, it says matching teleporter, because you have to know which teleporter we're going to. Maybe this one goes to that one, maybe that one goes to that one. So we're telling Hammer, matching teleporter, let's use our little picker there to quickly select it, is that one. And this matching teleporter is this one. Do the same one for the blue ones. And this one. Now, these teleporters are not indestructible. You can destroy them. So what you might want to do is check this little thing which is invulnerable. Now, the problem with teleporters in general, these kind of teleporters when using in Hammer, is that they can be sapped. As a spy, when you sap it with a regular sapper, it will just be sapped and unusable until an engineer comes along and hits it with a wrench. But if you have a red tape recorder as a spy, you can destroy it, even though it's invulnerable. Now, you're able to respawn buildings in Hammer using an entity picker, a point template, and an entity spawner. But the problem with this is that you can only use the onDestroyed command, so it knows when to respawn the entity. But the red tape recorder does not give out that output, does not send out that event. It unbuilds it. So it doesn't matter how much health it has, it will unbuild it and destroy your building permanently in Hammer. So I would not recommend using these just in general. I have a little thing here where I put the exit someplace far away and put a trigger teleport, which will like right after this one, to the place I want to send it to, so it seems as if you got teleported to nothing. Just in general, I wouldn't suggest using these. If you want more information, you can ask me down in the comments below. Alright, now let's see how this looks in TF2 once the map is rendered. Let's go to File and Run Map. A little note, I forgot to turn that little teleport over here to blue. I changed that quickly in Hammer. Now, go to the entrance, brings me to the exits pretty easily. I'm a spy, so the red teleporter will also bring me there. But I'm going to show you how sapping works over here. It will be sapped forever and ever and ever because these teleporters are said to be invulnerable. They will never destroyed. But let's change to the red tape recorder. We kill ourselves in console, not in real life. Wait a bit to be respawned. Now, oh my god. Now it's actually being sapped. My sapper changed because I respawned with it. However that works. Wait for it. Wait for it. And it has been unbuilt. Look at that. And we can't respawn them because it's no undestroyed. It's just been unbuilt. Alright, let's see you back in Hammer. Now the next kind of teleportation, and arguably the most famous kind of teleportation, the one's most often used, I think it's even used in RD Asteroid at one point, and Pastime, is the trigger teleport. It's a brush-based entity, so making a brush, plus Control T to turn into an entity. Let's type teleport, it makes it easier to get things. And this one does not need to be named. We might name it a bit later. Let's just name it anyway, because just for convenience sake. Teleporter. It's very bland. Now this thing, make sure that you check the flag's clients, so that when people walk into it, they actually get teleported. If nothing is checked, then nothing will register, and nothing gets teleported. Now, it has in it a remote destination. This is what you're teleporting the client to. So yeah, we're going to use an entity for this one. We're going to call it info teleport destination. That's what entity we're using. We're going to call it Freeman, because that's what the guy looks like. Why not? All right. So now, once the client steps in here, it will be teleported to that area right there. This guy will not show up in the game, don't worry. Now, the cool little thing about this is that you actually do not need to use info teleport destination. If you want, you can actually use, let's say, a target, which is info target, which some people like to use that instead of info teleport destination. The problem with this is that you can't see exactly where the feet are and where his head will appear. This gives you a rough estimation of how big the body is and what it will be like once it happens. But also a cooler thing is you don't even need to use another entity for this. If you're really paranoid about your entity use and you don't want to use like more than you have to, and you don't care about being more advanced, what you could do actually is let's use the one. Actually, no. Let's keep this one. Is delete that entity over there. You can teleport to yourself. So what we'll do, you just keep teleporting to yourself infinitely. That's stupid. Why would I want that? Well, when you get teleported to a trigger, you actually get teleported to its origin. This little circle right here, which you can move around. So what if we were to move the origin? This little blue ball is right over here. Now, I would recommend using this because it's difficult to see an origin, and when it's unclicked, it's invisible completely. If you want to confuse people who open your map, this is a great way to do it. It's kind of a stupid way to do it, but yeah. So if we just do remote destination is teleporter, which is this itself, it will be teleported to this little blue ball over there. So let's see this in TF2. All right, now we're here. Quick note, only these in the middle are the ones that I put on. See, these don't do anything. Over here, this is the one with the Freeman. And, oops, sorry. The one to the left over here, this is the one where we're teleporting to ourselves. It's a bit of a strong push there. But they both work. As soon. Cool. All right, we're back in Hammer with the third and most complicated teleportation, which is adding an output to the client to change its origin. It's a bit complicated, bear with me. But you can do it with either a button or with a trigger. Let's go to the trigger first. Let's press Control T. And let's actually use a trigger multiple, not a trigger teleport. Everything is as normal. Make sure clients is checked. That's great. Now, we're going to add an output over here that on start touch, once the client or the player gets within this little range over here, what are we going to do to which object? We're going to do something to the activator, which is the person who touched it. That's the activator who activated the trigger itself. Now, what do we do to him? We're going to add an output to him. What's the output we're going to do? We're going to set his origin. So I went in TF2 to the little orange block right over here, and I did spec_POS, which jumped my coordinates to the console. So I know what they are. I have it written down on paper right here. The origin is 301.0. I'm sorry, negative 301.0. It's gonna be annoying. 115.0 and 319.0. Oh, negative 319 actually. All right. So this, once you touch this, this will set our origin to right over here. It will set where we are. Now, why do I have a button here also? Because this is one of the better uses for this thing over here. Control T over this green little thing here. Let's change this to a func button. Let's do don't move and damage activates, just in case you want to use the use command. This is the way to do it. Let's go add on pressed, meaning when the guy either does use or just shoots it from anywhere in the map. He could be over there somehow, and he gets a rocket, lands right over here. Wherever he is, if he ends up hitting this button, we're going to do the same exact thing before. We're going to select the activator again, and what do we do to him? We're going to add an output. The origin is a bit different this time. The origin's negative 246.0, negative 97.0, and negative 265.0. So again, the cool thing about this is he doesn't have to be within a certain range. He can be anywhere in the map. As long as he somehow is able to damage this button, he will get teleported to this spot right here. Let's see how this looks in TF2. We're in TF2, and again, only the middle two ones we'll be using. The right one has our trigger multiple in it. You go inside there, you instantly get teleported to this little orange space over here. The left one over here, let's just even like go right over here. Let's hit the green button. Boom, teleported right over here. Exactly where we need it to be. We don't have to be in any space. We can be right over here and hit it and get teleported right over here. So this concludes the tutorial. Again, I have the map in the description down below, a download link to it, so you can check out these things a bit more in depth. Also, if you have any other questions whatsoever, just leave them down in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer them. If I can't, I'll link you to some tutorials that can answer it for you. And have a great day.